Hey,
Whoa!
hey guys.
Yeah,
All
we're
right,
running.
guys. So,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Comics Cast, let it out. We have a great show for you guys today. We have Carver with us. We got Roi Mercado with us. They're going to be talking about their book, the Murderland Social Club. It's a fantastic book. Can't wait for you guys to see it. This show's going to be amazing. So we're going to have the art challenge. We're going to have a new co-host challenge for you today. Today's going to be a great show. So Comics Cast Lead It Out is starting right. Hey, here we are.
Yeah,
What's
it's
up,
okay.
man?
Hey Vic, how you doing? It's a
Uh,
February
I'm
27th, and we're kicking it off with another Comics Cast Let It Out. And as Vic said, it's going to be a great show. We had some really great guests, but just a little bit about what Comics Cast is and what Comics Cast Let It Out is about. Comics Cast is all about the indie creator. We want to get eyes on you. If you're a writer, a illustrator, inker, publisher, etc. We want to make sure that we get as many eyes on you so you can talk about your IPs, your intellectual properties, and your original characters. Now, Let It Out is just one of the many ways that we want to get the word out. It's a draw and talk, or it's a talk and draw. I don't want to say draw and talk because that's copyright Tyler Carpenter. But yeah, it's going to be a great show. And without further ado, let's get our guests in here. So please give a round of applause to. Hey, Carver!
Hey, guys!
And Roy! Yeah, say hello, fellas. Say hello to our audience.
Hello, everyone.
Hey. What's up?
I know it's super early for Roy. Roy's coming at us from all the way from the other side of the planet. It's like 1 p.m. for me, but it's like 2 a.m. for him. And of course, Vic and Carver, they're coming out from the west side of the United States, which I think it's like just after 10. So I want to welcome you both. Roy, thanks for staying up for us. Roy has come back. This is his second appearance on Let It Out. We're so happy to have him. And we're also welcoming his partner in crime, Mr. Carver Irish, they're gonna talk about their individual creative journeys before they came together for a killer collaboration. Yeah. Notice the alliteration laced introduction there.
I see what you did there.
Trying to be clever. Crime. Yes, crime. Yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about how those were all like previews in terms of what this new project is going to be all about. So let's just jump right in. We're going to get into the we have this
the nitty gritty.
Yeah, the nitty gritty. 2022. We're coming up with a little bit of a new format. So we're going to call this format or this segment of the show called the origin story. So let's start with Mr. Carver Irish. Let's start with your name. That is just a crazy name. Now, we talked a little bit about this in the pre-show, but I'm going to let you kind of like add some mystery. So, Carver Irish, is that your real name?
No. This is a pen name I took a very long time ago. So it wasn't important at the time, but I needed to submit something, so I just came up with an anagram for the name, and so it just kind of stuck, and that's how I'm known now. So
you're totally known because as we talk a little bit about you, you shared with me a lot of these photos from your, I'm going to say your past, your storied past. There's another play on words there. You being an author and all. But let's just go through this. Tell us a little bit about your journey before you met Roy.
Yeah. Of course. I got started, I guess, working in Hollywood at a young age. Just working with the family business there, and doing work on sets as electricians and best boy and grips and so on. And so the family business kind of revolved around that. So we got started in Hollywood, and I got kind of tired of humping cable, as it were, and decided to try my hand at something else. Something above the line is always the ideal, but something more creative is what it comes down to. So these photos that you're popping up there are obviously I was much younger, but so after that period of time, I went into working with a Hollywood consultant, writer, story development artist, and the two of us started working on a number of Hollywood blockbuster projects that you've seen a couple of them up there. So we had a good time doing that. Did that for almost 10 years. That's me and Spielberg right there.
Spielberg is so awesome that he has his built-in like halo light that comes down.
Yeah, you know what? I found that to be really very appropriate. If you look very closely, you can see he's imparting some wisdom there, right? And so he's got that glow coming.
He does.
But that's Vince Gilligan from Breaking Bad. That's just one of the best written things I've ever seen. Written, directed, acted, everything. One of the best things I've ever seen. So that's the two of us behind the scenes at an awards party.
You look like Saul Goodman.
You're not the first person to say that.
Yeah,
You're not the first person to say that, Roy.
You got even the correct attire. It's like maybe.
Yeah.
It's like you're getting
love
casted.
Saul Goodman.
Well, the truth of the matter is they probably cast Carver first, but Carver had to turn it down. He said, "You know what? I got to save up my creative energy for a future collaboration with somebody." Somebody named Roy.
Yes, Roy Mercado.
Yeah. But before we get into like a little bit of Roy's creative journey and talk about how you guys met, let's just go back and talk a little bit about some of these photographs, because this is the one that got me. It's like that's Bono. And,
yes,
Al Pacino.
Yeah,
So.
I've been very, very lucky, very, very blessed in a lot of ways. So I just happened into that seat behind them.
That wasn't a photo bomb. It wasn't a photo bomb.
No. As you can see, I'm kind of covering my face because I'm not all that comfortable being on camera, and the two of them, there are probably about 100 photographers in front of us, so it's just a wall of lights, of strobes going off, and it's just I don't know how they do it. It was the room just is moving at that point, so I was just like, oh great.
You're so I'm gonna say that you're so humble, because you can see that Al Pacino moved over to the side, because he's like, I want to make sure you can see the guy behind me, because we are best buds, so like Carver in his free time, he like has brunch with Al Pacino, and every now and then he gets flown out by Bono to meet up for dinner and stuff like that. But
or did Carver lean over and go, "Hey Al, can you scooch just a little bit?"
They're there for me, not really. But I think it's really cool that you. And then this photo got me too, because I'm a big fan of RoboCop. So little did I know that Carver was responsible for Ed 209.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
I'm just kidding.
We were working with my father and my uncle, building up, building the. We were all over that picture in particular, but that's the warehouse where all the robots from RoboCop 2 were held, and prepared for the screen. That model there is foam and fiberglass, so I could probably lift that whole thing up with one hand.
Wow, that looks pretty incredible. Yeah,
it really is incredible when you look at it up close. So that was awesome. That entire experience was great.
I was listening to your intro, your origin story, and one thing that you mentioned, aside from the thing about humping cables, which we won't even go any further with that one, but the thing is, like, this is what I've always seen when I look at credits. The credits, they say like director, character, producer, but then there's a thing that says best boy, and I always wondered what exactly is best boy and best
it works
girl?
over electrics. Basically, works over the electrics.
So it has to
Yeah,
be
it's all.
okay.
Yeah, for the most part. In
Man,
lighting.
that totally like destroyed my idea of that. I thought best boy or best girl was like they took a vote and all the crew voted, and Carver Irish was voted best boy because just,
Not me.
Not quite.
I never got any credit with that. Heck, I'm underage in this photo here. I was just free labor at this point. I'm just, we need you to go over there and handle this stuff over here. Maybe pick up some batteries and stuff, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Nothing important. We probably just got in the way.
No, man. We won't tell the Hollywood union reps for workers, but some those batteries were very important. I'm gonna tell you that. But
they
I was looking at this thing too. It's like Denzel, man. I mean, you went from Bono to Denzel. I mean, this is just incredible.
I never actually met Denzel. Oh, I think we worked on like three projects for Denzel.
Right.
Never actually met him myself.
Right.
But tremendous experience. Again, this was a little bit later on in life when we were working when I actually was getting paid and to do story and technical consulting and advising and things like that. So that was a great experience. Learned a great deal about the craft, about writing and about storytelling in general. So this particular photo here has Tony Scott's signature on it, and my mentor Donald Ferrarone, who was an associate producer on that as well.
Yeah, well, you do definitely. I mean, if you're gonna pick mentors, the Scott brothers, Ridley and Tony. Tony gone too soon. Ridley still producing some phenomenal stuff. But I'm a big fan of Man on Fire. That was I think one of the movies where they started where he did some things with typography, putting typography into I think you see it can be. I think that should only be reserved for the credits or the opening sequence. But if you can find a good way to actually accentuate the storytelling or the state of mind of whatever's being told or to express to the audience, I think it's a really effective way of doing it. And one of my favorite movies still, Man on Fire. Just excellent cinematography. So let's we got our little bit of our preview of who Carver Irish is. We're going to learn more about that and their joint project. But before we get into that joint project, let's talk about Mr. Roi Mercado here. So Roi is coming back at us. Super talented artist, creator in his own right, hails from the great nation of the Philippines, and overall just a sexy individual, sexy illustrator. I think that's what we were joking around about. Vic and I were joking around about that. But we're
Marius, let me give you all a secret. Roi Mercado does not sleep. That is absolutely true.
Yes, I can attest to this
time of the day.
Very much.
Yes, that's right. That's the secret. You don't get any sleep, and maybe you can produce. And see, I'm so weak. I give into sleep because I love my sleep, and I realize that's why I can't be like Roi. But Roi is quite. Oh, here we go. Hails from the Greek nation of the Philippines. I said great. But if you want to say Greek, Greek would be appropriate too, because that would mean that if it was the Greek nation, he would be a Greek god. That's
probably your Filipino blood coming out.
Oh yes, it's like great Greek. Anyway, I'm trying to be Americanized, I guess, here and stuff like that. But every now and then my Filipino accent creeps out there, and I'm proud of it. But here we go. We have some art here. Roi, a lot has happened since you were last on the show, and I could say it, but I'd rather hear it from you. So you sent me your latest portfolio. So let's talk a little bit about what you've done since your last appearance. We can get everybody up to speed on what's up with Roi.
Yeah, so I'm glad to be back. So I'm so nervous. I don't know why.
It's Vic. Vic is so stunningly handsome. He's disarming you. Yeah.
I'm threatened by Vic's great camera angles and his
Yeah, superior lighting.
his superior lighting. Yeah. So yeah, I work with IDW.
Yeah.
What you're showing is GI Joe's Multo cover. Multo is
Mhm.
um uh well, he's a ghost. There, Multo means ghost, and
Mhm.
IDW wanted me to do a cover for them. Well, Multo is a Filipino GI, so it would
Yes.
be nice to be done by Filipino artists. So
Uh-huh. Because Roy is
yeah,
classic. Yeah, that's true. A classic.
well,
A classic. Yeah.
a classic.
Not the classic. A classic. Yeah.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
And I hope I'm not that old to be a, to be a classic.
Uh-huh. But yeah, that's
Anyway,
first
yeah,
first Joe, first Filipino Joe. Yeah. So.
yeah,
Mhm.
and I'm really uh proud to be part of this project. And
Mhm.
yeah, soon after that, they released that one, which is
Mhm.
the GI Joe Yearbook 3,
Mhm.
and uh I don't even I'm not that I'm not to
What?
to know to know that much about GI Joe, but I'm really happy, and I'm glad they chose me.
Okay, shh. Well, we won't tell anybody. We won't tell anybody because, as far as I know, you're the authority on Snake Eyes, Baroness, and
Yeah,
Storm Shadow.
yeah,
That's who I call you all the time. Because I
yeah.
wonder what Snake Eyes is gonna do, and when I
Uh-huh.
think that, I go, who do I call? I call Roy because he's the supreme geek when it comes to all GI Joe. But you know what? You don't really need to know
Mhm.
like everything about them because you're able to capture their essence. I mean, when I saw this, I'm going to say that I looked at this and you kind of hinted to me in terms of like this future collaboration, and when I saw it, I was like, this is perfect, perfect for Roy. Suits his
Yeah,
style. Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised they like it. So
What? Gosh, he's so humble.
Boy, come on.
It's like, yeah, you really like it.
well,
You really like it. Yeah.
well,
I
yeah, yeah,
there.
and they hired me for this hush hush another cover
Yes, we're
from
gonna. I
from
wish that we could talk about that cover, but Roy told
yeah.
me that if I said anything, that he'd have to kill me. So I value my life, and so I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna say that stay tuned because there's gonna be more Roy and IDW work that's gonna
Yeah.
be coming out in 2022. But let's just keep on going there. We show this is the black and white version, and then look
Yeah.
at this color
Oh,
color
wow.
version.
That looks great.
I
That
mean,
just
Yeah.
looks
black and
great.
white looks good. This looks even
Wow.
crazy good, crazier
Crazy
good.
fake.
I don't even know if that's
Yeah.
correct. Crazier good.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, just so good.
What
I mean, look at
that
Storm Shadow's
that
arms.
that
Yeah.
two projects is too closely timed. I have enough time to be blown away. It's just 2 weeks apart, so so
uh,
I
so
don't
uh
I don't have enough time to celebrate. So yeah,
yeah.
I'll just draw this one.
Oh, okay.
So
See, so humble. It's so humble. It's like Roy did this last year, and just now he's being blown away. I mean, it's delayed reaction. But yeah, just
uh,
really. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, I'm still shocked by how they promoted me. Just the other day, Carver asked me for my bio, and I was just looking at these images,
Uh,
and I went across this screenshot of IDW's press release, and they said I'm this superstar artist in the making. So I
You're not supposed to
why?
laugh while
I
you're saying
know.
that.
I'm just
Sell
saying.
it. Sell it.
It's so
Right.
yeah.
You're a superstar.
I know. You are and I'm going to say that it's not even in the making. I'm laughing because you are a superstar. It's Royster Superstar. He changed his middle name. You can see he changed his name. He's no longer Roy. He's Royster. Royce, like
Yeah,
Rolls Royce.
I'm
yeah,
wondering
so.
if because they released that before the second cover was released, and I'm still working on the second cover, and I'm thinking he's a superstar in the making because he's still taking too much time drawing this second cover.
Hey man, you can't put a time limit on greatness. That's all I'm gonna say. On superstardust. I don't know. But here we go.
Yeah.
We got some more artwork
Oh
here.
wow!
So
Look at
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
one is for a local uh comic book. Well, we have this local Comic Con just like what you have there in the States, and
Right.
had an anthology, and I was happy to take this job for them, and I just love this one. So
Yeah, me too.
That
The only
is
thing
beautiful.
I just hope that the driver in the front slams on the gas because that's going to be a hell of a blast. That's going to like come back at him.
Yeah.
That's using an RPG at almost point blank range. But
yeah, well,
it's just
come to
yeah.
think of it, the tank driver might be driving too fast. He lost its aim.
Oh, okay,
Because
that's what it is.
his aim is way too up.
Yeah, that's right. And you know what? In comic books, it's comic books physics. So you know he could totally survive that blast at that range. But yeah, very very cool. To me, it's all about the composition. Just look at that. Down to the way that you have the bridge and the really dynamic foreshortening of that tank barrel. I mean, it's static, but yet it feels like it's moving. Just really crazy.
That is great. It's beautiful.
And then here we have your contribution to another indie creator who's been a guest of our show, Mr. Philip Russert. This is the tragedy, the character Tragedy from the book Tragedy. With you can see the dragon, the breath of the dragon. He's another character in the background. Just phenomenal work. Crazy.
Yeah, and I'm really happy to work with Russell and this cover, and he said it's probably the best cover, and he might be saying that because I'm his friend.
Man, I don't know. I think we're on humbleness overload here. I can't. I'm just gonna man, this guy Roy. He's what every artist should be, in terms of just keeping his feet grounded.
That I have many friends to
You do.
tell me that
it's
you're
deserved.
the best, man.
Yeah, no, you're the best. I'm going to say that you're the best. And you know what? I'm going to show artwork to prove that you're the best. Here we have some,
some pin-ups.
This
yes,
is great. This.
And it's
great.
just in time because we got the new Batman movie that's going to be coming out pretty soon, and I can say this was a nice combination of combining like the comic book version of Selena Kyle, but there's a little bit of Zoe. That you put in here, Zoe Kravitz. Zoe.
I was saying, morning guys. Roy's cover was a composition well done. Everything Roy does is well done.
Thank you, Anne.
More than well done.
Very
Roy's
well
fantastic.
Done. Yeah. I see.
Roy, I really want to hate you because your artwork is so good. It makes me jealous, but you're such a nice guy. I can't. You're making it easier by calling yourself Royster now, especially when we.
At least you know now how we feel about your camera.
Oh yeah, it's like one day we will, Carver, Roy, and I will have a camera that will make us look as good or as sexy as Vic is.
Creamy.
We're hoping for that one day, but But back to the point. I mean, this is something that we did kind of like preview, during your last appearance, and I just can't get over this. It's just there's so much going on. Saying it again. It's like I could just.
I don't even know how I did that one. I'm still figuring out how to redo that.
Redo that one. Okay, when you figure it out, make sure that you conference me and Vic and Roy and Carver in so we can all witness the magic happen. But this is like the overall. When we look at the whole page, the composition itself, the sequential storytelling that we have here, no dialogue boxes, but I could actually hear the clinging of glasses, and I could actually maybe smell the cigar smoke or whatever, and just sort of it's like you've captured the essence of like a this bar in panels. And my favorite one, obviously, we have our establishing shot, but this panel too, I don't know, it's like you could get lost in the details, lost in a good way. I think sometimes artists get carried away and over render things, but you've done a really good job of like not falling into that trap. Because, like, for example, you could have drew every bottle and put every label on all the bottles that are in the background here, but you didn't. You just
And
sort of like
that would take that page at least 3 more weeks. So
3 more weeks.
I think I remember
Justin Acosta says beautiful work. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Justin.
Oh, thank you, Justin.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I remember us talking about this page, and I remember telling you that that page alone took 2, maybe 3 weeks to do. So, yeah, well, I can't do 3 weeks a page. So
yes, because now you're going to be in so demand that people are going to be willing to wait, and they say, you know what, you're going to do stuff like this.
And you can see, and you kind of see that on that I think it's panel 4 or 5. I kind of that obviously shows that I'm tired of rendering.
Okay, so you're destroying my whole idea of this page. I thought that's like, Roi is because this is something that I've noticed from. I'm going to put you with all the greats that I follow that are pro artists here. Is that you don't need to like aside from over rendering a panel, you don't need to over render all the panels. You kind of like want to the establishing shots kind of bring the audience to the location. They get you immersed into the story, and then from there, there's going to be word balloons, there's going to be lettering that's going to be added in there, and then your mind as a reader is going to look at what you've composed, what you put your rendering into, and sort of like fill in the blanks. Like I can look at panels 3, 4, and 5, and I don't need to know what the wallpaper looks like because I'm already there. I can already, you've already transported me to that. And, I want our audience to know that just this shot, look at the composition, like the camera angle that he picked. I think Carver can appreciate that, working in movies,
absolutely,
how a shot can be composed so it leads your eye. And like Roi is using actually that bar angle, the way that he's put that camera in there to point to the next panel. I mean, these are like little subconscious things that kind of lead you around there. It makes sure that the viewer doesn't get lost in it, but it's handled so beautifully and subtly. You don't need to think about it. It just works. And kudos to you.
Yeah. And
this is
one thing that. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Roi.
One thing I learned for the past year and a half is you really can't overdo stuff, and you really can't spend too much time. You have to balance out when you spend. You can always have quality, but well, you don't really have that much time. You lose your profits when you spend too much time in a page.
I think that's good advice because sequential comic storytelling. It's a balance, like you said. You have to balance the art with the deadline. And
that's what's great with Carver. He lets me take as much time, but at the same time, he reminds me when I'm taking too much time.
We're actually gonna talk about that relationship in a bit.
Hey, Roi, are you sleeping or something?
Come on, Roi.
And that's where Roy's like, his head is like, propped up against his digital display, and there's like drool coming out of his mouth, and he's like, "No, I'm not asleep, Carver. I'm working. Roi. Yeah, I'm working right away."
Wise words, Roi. Wise words. Yes.
Exactly. From a fellow talented artist, Marius, who also is an insomniac. But yeah, let's keep on going here. Only have a few more here. Great. This is really cool storytelling. This is From what? What is this
Heavy
from?
metal.
Heavy metal. And I actually can read the caption, but I wanted you to say it. Heavy metal. I mean, what an
I love
opportunity.
how Gerald just confirmed he can read.
That's right.
I can read.
I know after being a comic book enthusiast for so many years, I wanted to confirm that I just don't look at the pretty pictures. You know, I can actually read here.
Wait. And this is amazing, but wait till everybody sees the stuff that they do on their project. It's fantastic. Like, this is amazing, but I think Roy's gotten even better than this. So like,
yep,
you guys are going to be blown away right
very
now
good.
when you guys get to this.
That's a very good example of what I was saying earlier. I have to cut back on the details and the rendering and stuff. If you can compare that to the previous page, you won't see any not that much of textures, and yeah, because we're working on tight deadlines on that project, and it's 3 chapters, and it's 28 to 32 pages per chapter. So
that's crazy.
You can imagine how tight that deadline is.
I can imagine it, but I can just tell the evolution of your storytelling. You know, you don't lose any of the quality, and you're coming up with really neat ways to tell the story. And it's like Roy is also, I think, from that school of less is more. You know, he didn't have to like do all these folds and stuff like that. Like at the very bottom, which shows the character here laying on the bed, but it's enough. Your mind will fill in the blank. It's so expertly rendered. You know, you can really see the story that he's trying to tell here. And then here we have this is part of a 2-page. Oh, actually, this wasn't a part. This is part of a 2-page spread. But Roy has teased us because you can't see the other page. You're only seeing the left side of it. But this is an action sequence. You know, very very cool storytelling, and I got a little bit of an inside scoop in terms of some of his grids and, you know, his technical things in terms of like how he arranges shots, and it works. It just looks so good. So check out the excellent rendering here. So very very cool. But now, you know, now that we've seen, you know, we got an update on what Roy's been doing. You know, IDW heavy metal. He is a creator in his own right. Got to check out his book Ophir. Which will get you up to speed with some Filipino mythology, some storytelling. You know, got to hit up Roy to, like, you know, get those back issues and see what that's about. But let's talk about this.
Hey, Vic.
Let's
what did I wasn't ready for that.
I know, it's like Vic all of a sudden became larger than life here, you know. So
he earned a close up. I don't know what he did. But,
it might have been me, because I think my share screen dropped for some reason and it defaulted to Vic. So let me get my share screen. So sorry about that, Vic. That was probably my fault.
No worries.
So all right, here you go. We're back to this. Okay, so let's talk about, I'm going to call it the, you know, let's continue with the alliteration here. You know, we were talking about this great, I'm going to call it the convergence, the killer creative convergence, where we have Carver Irish and we got Roy that came together, and we're going to talk about this. This is their new product. It's coming up. This is going to be the Murderland Social Club. And when I heard, like, you know, Roy told me he's going to be working on this new project, and he said he told me what the title was, and I was like, wow, that's a mouthful to say, but it's so catchy, and when you read it, is it evoke or invoke? I guess it's evoke. You know, I think I'm going to have to lean on Carver to tell me if I'm saying it correctly, but it evoked all sorts of imagery in my head, and then when Roy told me a little bit about what it was, and then later on Carver provided me like their little bit of their media kit to explain a little bit about it. Oh, it just blew my mind. I was like, wow, I can't wait to see it. And then I saw this logo. And Carver, you want to tell us a little bit about this? Who did this logo? The title.
This is Russ Wooten. He's done a lot of work on the Walking Dead comic. He's done the Invincible, Russ is stellar. Russ is a stellar talent, letterer, logo artist. This is beautiful, and we were blown away by what he gave us. Just absolutely, I couldn't have asked anything more. It's just insane what he's capable of.
Yeah, that's crazy because you've worked now with to get this talent. I mean, to get this phenomenal logo here. Let's talk about the two of you in terms of like how you guys connected. Like, what was the was it like a chance meeting when you were talking to Denzel and Denzel said, I got this guy. His name is Roy. Or was it Al Pacino or Bono? I don't know. I know Roy probably. You guys run in the same.
Close. You're very, very close. Actually, it was artist, writer, and illustrator Dan Akis. But
and it's
really,
his birthday today.
Oh, really?
It's his birthday today, which is right. So
happy
Dan,
birthday. Yeah.
Happy birthday to you, Dan, wherever you are. Hope you're happy.
Hope you're watching.
Celebrating and
right.
watching. That'd be
on
nice.
your birthday, watching Comics Cast. Let it out. But Carver, go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead and talk about that.
Oh no, we were introduced through Dan. Dan had a look at. We were talking over projects. He was showing me some of his artwork. I looked at. You gotta love his artwork. I was looking over his illustration of that, and he said, I know Roi Mercado. I said, "Oh, really? All right."
The Roi Mercado.
You need to talk to Roy. You need to talk to Roy about Murderland because this would be right up his alley. So naturally, the first thing that I did was, go over there and Google up there Roi Mercado, and
we won't talk about those other pictures.
Photos come up.
Let's see what he's drawing, and I was like, oh, this is it. This is obviously the Murderland Social Club. I mean, right there in the photo is just. I mean, that sums up so much of what the Murderland experience.
Seeing my Google results.
Oh yeah, because I had to tell you, Carver. Now that you guys hooked up, we're gonna keep on continuing about the story. But when I saw this artwork, I was like talking to you guys earlier this week. I said, hey, we got to start promoting you guys. We got to get some really artwork in there. And then Roy's like, I got something that will grab everybody's attention. And I was like, oh, great. What is it gonna be? And then he sends me this, and I go, Roy, are you sure you want to use this one? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, yes. And I was like joking around. I said, but he's making suka. I mean, he's vomiting or something like that. And so I was getting all Filipino there. I was just like laughing.
I don't know how many clubs you've been to, Gerald, but this is my entire club going experience. Vic, come on, Vic. Vic, help me out here.
Okay, so I'm trying to like pull some details because this hasn't come out yet, and we're gonna learn more about it. But I'm pulling a little bit of details out of Carver, and he's like saying, well, I'm thinking that the characters, this actually Murderland Social Club, it's actually Carver's story. He's just saying that he's the writer, but he's like, he just said it. Yeah. He said this was his club going experience. So maybe he's really doing a autobiography and saying that it's not really him. But anyway,
it's a good night out. It's a great night out.
It's a good night. and speaking of which, let's keep on talking about now that you've talked to Roy. You want to get him involved in it. I'm going to show a few other pictures. You keep on talking about, that relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, Dan put us in contact with one another, and I said, hey, listen, I don't know what your schedule looks like, but have a look at this project, and I'd love for you to come on board. I'd be very, very happy to see you on board with this thing if it moves you, if you like it, and that was the other side of it. It was if it moves you, because the script is something that I'd passed around Hollywood quite a few times, and I always get a reaction out of that script. It's well, I should back up just a little bit. The Murderland Social Club is an anthology, right? So it's a comedy crime noir. So which is to say, every story, every issue is different. It's mostly self-contained, but they're all really, really insane stories, just really crazy stuff. And so I'd pass it around, to a few people in Hollywood, and they'd say, I love this. good luck getting it made. This is there are some offensive elements in here, but the great thing was that nobody could agree on what was the most offensive. So, so everybody had suggestions. Just change this thing. Just change this little thing. So when I send it over to Roy, I'm like, I really like this artist. He's really talented. I hope he's not put off by the material. And so Roy was like, "Nah, I got this. Absolutely."
Nah,
So,
I can't
Yeah.
Roy,
I got this. That sounds totally like Roy. I got this. Yeah. I was just
but
gonna say,
I was waiting for that message. I was waiting for that message from him going, "Okay, so, can I get back to you?"
I like that dramatic pause. He's like going, it's a different time zone. Let me get back to you tomorrow. I'm gonna read it. Yeah. But I'm happy that Roy accepted because.
Oh, nobody's happier than I am. Roy again is a phenomenal talent. He's great to work with. He's smart and fast. And obviously, I mean, look at this. This is the Murderland Social Club. This is what we've got in the first issue, the first story here.
It's amazing. So, Roy, we've heard Carver's take on the introduction. Do you 100% agree with that whole story? Is that exactly how it happened?
Yeah, not exactly, because I got a script and I told him, you know what, I can't read. I'll take it.
I can't. Did you say I can't read? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, so so Roy and I have that much in common. We both can't read.
Yeah, it has murder and social on the title, and it looks fun.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. He probably said, "I get to draw a guy who looks like he's vomiting. Oh yeah, let's. I'm in. I'm 100% in." Yeah. So we're looking at some of the panel. Oh, go ahead. Keep on going.
When Carver messaged me, I was actually working at the final, well, around the final uh final half of my current issue with heavy metal, and I'm not really picky with projects, and but I kind of see this pattern of me wanting projects or certain tones, certain genres of projects, and I kind of see that I'm leaning towards violent projects, violent books.
So Roy's like, I got a bucket list of genres that I want to do for comics, and he said, Carver's book ticks all of these boxes that I want to do.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
I get to blame all the over-the-top violence on Roy now. Thank you so much. But that's a considerable weight off.
Yeah. And well, it's you only live once. Why not take on projects like over the top projects? So
yeah.
I'm surprised when I worked at on this script, and me personally, I initially thought that he was being serious when he said that it might get you it's over the top. So I was expecting over the top, but yeah, it kind of seemed normal to me. So
Oh, nice.
Over the top is normal for Roy.
This is what I like. Well, wait till you see the script for the third one. It's long completed. We'll come back and gauge your ideas on that one.
Okay, I can't wait. When that happens, we're gonna have you guys.
I have said that.
So he's setting up for some cool drama.
Yeah, I remember us talking yesterday that how can I explain to my kid that I worked on this book?
Uh-huh.
So but kidding aside, this is one of those projects that I can't miss out on, and uh it's different. So
Yeah.
you'll only pass by projects like this like once in a lifetime. No one
Oh,
sells
that's
uh
good.
Yeah.
well, no one casually tells you that hey, work on my comic. What's your comic? It's about um murdering people and
In a,
taboos.
in a social media
Yeah,
setting.
yeah.
Yeah, I have to say, everything from the title to like these sequential pages, because it is an anthology. I heard that Carver was talking about that, and he refreshed my memory, because when I was looking at the press kit write up about it, that's what's really intriguing. We're only seeing aspects of this, because we're teasing it. It's going to be available later on, but it's going to be a series of stories. So you're going to see lots of different perspectives. It'll be really, really cool. And we'll talk more a little bit about, we'll talk more about that a little later. But I really just wanted to like give everybody a good preview of this stuff, because these are some of the panels. These are some of the pages.
These are the weakest panels we have.
So these are the weakest? So there you go. You heard it. It's like, these are the weakest. It's only going to get more in your face and more, brutal. Because I think they kind of hinted about like some of the questionable content that's going to be in there. But
It's not really questionable. Well, that depends, but it's really fun. I enjoyed working on it, and I know that once you read the whole first issue, you'll be coming back for the second one. Definitely.
That's the goal. That is the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
So I think this is okay. Well, Carver, were you gonna say something?
No. I'm just, I always stop to look at the. I can't get enough of looking at this. These pages.
Me too.
They're just. Go back a little bit and go to that bird that's hanging upside down. That is just. Okay. Yeah, I mean.
Let's see. That's right. Did I?
Just up a bit. Yes, there it is. Yes, look at that. That's wow.
So was that in the script? Like, did you say, hey, let's talk about the relationship. Like, when you do your script, do you give like a panel by panel breakdown, or do you just sort of say, hey, overall, this is what I want to convey? Roy, have at it.
It's exactly? Very interesting that coming from a screenwriter's background, we're taught, or we learn, hopefully very quickly, not to give any sort of direction. No, very little staging, very little direction in a script. You basically give just the elements, and then a director comes along and says, "This is my vision. This is how I'm going to shoot it." Oh. That transferring that to the sequential art format, it's a tremendous difference. It's the staging alone on the scene from one scene to the next. I mean, I think I never gave credit to comics writers like I should have. There is so much more that a writer in the comics format has to do, has to look at, and I'm learning that as well. I mean, I played at drawing my own comic books when I was young, but now this is just it's an entirely different ballgame, is what it comes down to. And, it's been a learning process for me.
I had to say that what you just described is the way that I kind of, when I talk to other people about the craft of comic making, how it's much more, I don't know if the word is nuanced, or maybe the role is so much larger, because when you look at a movie production, you have storyboard artists, you have a director, producer, the actors, they're having their own interpretations. They're doing there's like lots of chefs in the kitchen. Of course, the director is directing everybody, but when you look at the relationship between you, Carver, and the artist Roy, it's like you guys are encompassing all of those roles and condensing it into this one, laser focused, creation. And I think that's so great that as a writer, you can sort of like give a little bit of that responsibility to Roy. So it's a true collaboration where you guys are really realizing that ultimate vision. And this is what we see. We see this crazy good stuff. Yeah.
He could direct pictures as far as I'm concerned after this. I mean, this he's taking very creative, very dramatic angles, and you know, his compositions are stunning. It's beautiful. His use of negative space. Look at that. I mean, it's beautiful. It's you know, I hope everyone will have you know, pick up the book and take a look at you know, at the very least, you know, everything that Roy's put into it, because it's really high caliber material.
It's funny that you say that, you know, Roy could be that could direct and stuff like that. He has directed. That's the other side of the Google search that we won't talk about. You know, he did direct some movies.
What?
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I am kidding. I am kidding. I was gonna say it's those homemade videos that you've been directing. Oh yeah. Okay. I'm just kidding. Bad joke. Let's keep the story moving along here, because these are more sequentials here, and I'm sure, you know, Vic, I'm gonna bring you in here and just talk about, you know, composition wise, you know, aside from like I mentioned, the panels.
Why bring in me? We'll just have Roy talk about it. He's the master of it.
Well, I think
I'm taking notes.
Oh, okay. Because I think Vic has been quiet because he's probably been studying while we're looking at this stuff, and I am too. I definitely study this, but I just, you know, we mentioned the negative space and just being able to lead the viewer's eyes. I mean, look at the staircase and how, you know, look, he definitely. Roy pays
so
attention.
Effortless the way he does it too. Well, if you look at the panels 2, 3, and 4, the way they just, the reader's eye just follows across them.
Yes,
so much emotion in each one. It's incredible. Like Roy,
but
I'm really jealous.
This is not all me. He wrote it, so. What we have, Carver and I, the way we work, you know, I'm lucky to have worked with really creative writers that is so good to work with, and I'm the way we work is we constantly I constantly ask for feedback from him, because he has more of the experience, and I'm learning a lot from this experience of working with him, and it's fun. It's really fun. Whenever we meet, whenever we have a meeting, it doesn't look like a meeting. It's just two friends talking about stuff.
Now I'm curious to how this goes. Okay, keep going.
It's like Carver's going, I think I understand what you're saying, but let's let Roy keep on going with that one. Let's see where he goes with it. But yeah, I think this is what I was getting at. It's like, we look at, Vic and I are looking at the overall composition, but that's why I wanted to talk about how, Carver, how you talk with Roy in terms of like your scripting and how you do your storytelling. It sounds like you have ideas. I think this is your experience with, being on the set and, working on like movie productions, that you have that director's eye as well. So I get the impression, this is, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like Carver, you actually give an idea of like what the panel camera angles would be, right? In terms of like, and then you just sort of let Roy kind of like adjust it to like, as a flowing issue, but you already have an idea of how things
I think he takes the initial stab at it, because again, this is my first comics script.
See, it's his
in a very long time.
So I'm
very
curious,
long time.
I'm curious. So when you wrote the script, obviously, a lot of times for like movie scripts, you have to keep budget and things like that in mind, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But with comics, you have an unlimited budget. Did that change your script at all? Like you're like, oh, now I could do this. Now I could do this chase scene. Now I could do somebody falling off a building.
That actually, Vic, that is a great question, great insight. That's it. These issues, the initial stories, are exactly that. They are more drama based, more comedy based, and limited locations, because it's a picture, right? And your company moves cost a great deal of money, but after the fourth story, 5, 6, 7, and 8 are not that. Now, we're taking, we're making use of what's possible in comics, and I'm going to exploit that as well, as much as possible, to really, keep Roy on his toes. I mean, we're gonna see some really interesting things. I mean, this is the hope, this is the expectation. I'm going to be asking things of Roy, on a script page that I'm gonna probably get a call and go, what the hell is this?
Well, it's like Vic said. It's like, you don't have to worry about the budget or things that might be taboo or totally crazy, because you know what? It's in the comic.
It's art. It's art.
It's art.
It's
yeah,
art.
you turn the page or whatever. But I got a kick. Oops, I keep on like hitting my mouse here. But I love this panel here with this guy getting hit on the back of his head with a shoe. I don't know. Maybe that might bring out some memories.
That's Roy's reference. That's Roy and his wife right there. I have that picture at home.
It's like
we've all been hit with a shoe.
Yeah,
I still have the scar.
It's a footprint on the back. It's a sole print on the back of his head here. But yeah, I just think this is a good example, because when I was looking at this comic, it's not like the typical superhero fare. We're talking about mobsters and crime, and there's some violent elements, but it's a challenge here. I think that's what Roy recognized when he worked with you, Carver. Is like, I get to like work in all these little elements, but there's a comedic aspect to it as well, and I think that's a challenge. We talk about illustrating those lighter moments.
That's something that I really struggled with at the beginning, and I'm glad he's still stuck with me, man. So,
Well, Carver probably goes, Roy is a funny guy, and eventually the fun guy is going to come out on the artwork, and it's going to be really.
You can see how easy he is to work with. I mean, he's awesome.
He is. Yeah. So we saw this panel, and I think this is a good thing. We just hit the hour mark here, so let's go into our first drawing challenge here. And so so let's go ahead and add Roy's art cam in here, and let's say Vic. Oops. Yeah. Well, we're gonna add everybody's camera here. So let's
take this off real quick. We'll bring in Roy's. Here we go.
Okay. Before you bring in Roy, let me show what we're gonna draw. So let's
that's right.
Yeah, right. So so this is we're gonna be drawing these two characters. So I'm already gonna give you guys a little of a hint in terms of what the third drawing challenge is. But the very first one is we're going to draw Lou. So we have Lou Pastore and Ira Scoglieri. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Yes.
Okay, good. I didn't brush up on my Italian before coming here, so I want to make sure that I get it right here. But I'm looking forward to hearing about these two characters. Now, given this is one story in the anthology, so we're focusing, I'm assuming, on these two characters, but we're going to learn a little bit more about these. And this is where we're going to lean on you, Carver, to kind of like give some narrative exposition while we're drawing this. So we're going to have 15 minutes, and if you're going to draw along with us, I would like you to do a screen capture here so you can know what it looks like. I will, because I'm going to have to add my art cam, so we won't be able to pull this up while we're drawing. So please, if you are drawing, do a screen capture, and just like the drill and other shows that we've done, let us know in the comment field that you are drawing, and then post to our sister page, which is the art show. And Vic or myself will pull that up, and we'd love to share your artistic impressions and your depictions of these two characters, because I'm already starting to get my own vibe in terms of who these two guys are, but I'm going to be interested to see what their relationship is with each other, because I can just tell by their expressions and their body language. I'm already drawing some conclusions here, and it'd be nice to see if I'm right or wrong. So anyway, do a screen capture this, let us know in the comments field, post to the art show. And Vic, do you have your iPhone ready? Can you set the timer for this?
iPhone. I wish I had an iPhone.
Oh, okay. Or you have a timer?
Let me get my egg timer going here. 15 minutes.
Your egg
Let me go, guys.
Nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe I don't have my iPhone here. I have my what is it? I have my cooking
Alarm
timer.
clock.
Maybe I'll cooking time. Yeah, my alarm clock with the hands and the little old bells on it. Yeah, we don't have anything high tech in our house, right? But anyway, these are the characters we're gonna be drawing. The character on the left, Lou, first, and trademark. He has that nice hat there and the tie and the jacket. Looks a little disheveled. So these are little things to make sure you capture. And from there, let's go ahead and get the art cams in. And we're gonna, I guess, put the once we let me know when we want to start the timer, and we will.
I don't think it's. I don't think you can see it very much in this particular illustration, but he does have a scar that's kind of reminiscent of a
that one,
violin, like an F hole. I don't know if I can. That's not the So anyways, I think. But anyways, it should.
There you go.
There you can kind of see it on that one a bit better. I think.
Okay, has a scar across his mouth, right?
Across his mouth, right?
Okay. So there's another distinguishing feature that we need to people to note. So so do a screen capture of this if you want to capture the angle of that scar. And
it kind of curls up a little bit, so it's kind of
this isn't Lou though, right? This character.
No. That's a character Johnny Mischief there.
Johnny Mischief. Okay. All right. Yeah. So here we again do some screen captures. If you can see the scar too here with his mouth is open, and here you can see it.
And he's missing a tooth.
He's missing a tooth too there. Good details. Okay. All right. So Vic is going to have his egg timer ready to go. Yep. And we're going to hand the mic over to you, Carver, and you can kind of without going into spoilery territory.
Oh, okay.
I would love for you to kind of maybe let the audience know a little bit more about your design direction, your character direction to Roi, in terms of maybe you can't tell about what the scar or the missing tooth came from because maybe you have to read the book to find out. But just anything that you feel is not going to be revealing of the story, but just your.
Sure.
Your own
well, no, I can give you a little details. This first story is called.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's get Roy's art cam. Is this art cam present? There it is.
There it is.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
There
All
it
right.
is.
Yeah. Okay. Have at it, Carver. Go tell us a little bit about Lou.
Oh, well, first off, this particular story is called Lazarus, Cool Thy Tongue. And I guess the sort of Hollywood log line for this is the sex workers in a seedy mob-owned massage parlor attempt to exploit the supernatural abilities of a resurrected gangland snitch who pleads for the childhood christening he never received. So, there's a spiritual aspect to this, if you will, and these two characters that you see in the beginning are Lou and Ira, and they sort of argue sort of the philosophies of their crime organization and their affiliation with that. So they discuss that in the opening of this particular story. And then we move towards the workers of the massage parlor who were actually upstairs from the illustrations you saw earlier. So Blue is much more intelligent. These guys are both aging sort of enforcers. They're aging mobland enforcers. And so Lou's more the brains of this, and Ira the heart. But Lou he has a very toxic way of speaking. He's a real. Some of the things he says, I'm not going to repeat here. This is a mature audience's type of work here. But he kind of attests to the mechanics of the criminal organization. He appreciates very much standing in line, doing the things that are expected of you in this organization, and Ira is a little more vocal about wanting out. So essentially, what comes to pass is they essentially want out. They want different lives. They don't necessarily like what they do. They're kind of old and they're tired. So that's roughly their characters in that. I believe that hat that Lou wears, I think that's a pork pie, but I'm not positive. Anyone can chime in and correct me. But I love that hat, and actually, I'm gonna have to get one because when Roy, when he started drawing this up, and I mentioned the hat, I was like, this is a very good hat. I'm getting a bit thinning up there, so I gotta start getting stylish, and maybe this will be the way. But yeah, that's Lou and Ira in the opening of Lazarus Cool Thy Tongue.
So can you tell us about the scar or the missing tooth, or is that something that you have to read?
No, that's
ultra top secret.
We will. These are the kind of the only sort of reoccurring characters in Murderland. This and their boss. Their boss is Sammy the Clam.
Sammy the Clam.
Yeah, Sammy the Clam is. His most formidable weapon is his mouth. You don't want to get him talking because he's just so much worse than anyone else. He just the things that he says are just outrageous and abrasive, and that's the way that I wanted the character to be. I wanted him to be very much offensive, so that you could understand these two hitmen and the things that they're tasked with doing on behalf of Sammy the Clam. They don't want anything to do with this anymore. This is insanity. This is literally working with a madman. Just the absolute most insane person you could work for. It'd be like Caligula, working for Caligula. They're like, they don't want anything to do with this anymore. This guy's obviously off his rock.
So Caligula the Clam. That's basically
yeah. So he's known for not talking. He doesn't snitch, doesn't talk. But when he does, you're in for it. And he says a lot of very, very outrageous things, and has a lot of outrageous expectations of the people that work for him. So it'd be Lou, Ira, and Sammy the Clam, and we will revisit them. But again, I've only got like the first 7 scripts roughly completed. So even the ladies of the massage parlor, I mean, could conceivably come back in a different story. But they're meant to just. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be outrageous. I think Russ Wooten really captured that in the logo there, and Roy really captured that in the artwork. It's meant to move you, and this particular script, these first 4 stories, never failed to get me work in Hollywood. I had a lot of very, very, very kind people just say, "Look, this is spectacular. We love this, but this." Going to be really hard to get here.
So
because everybody will be somebody will find something that they don't like, and that's good to me. I mean, this is art. You want people to be moved at the end of the day.
So is that kind of like your driving force? You said you're shopping it around and you're like saying, hey, I want to do I guess was your motivation like let's do a movie, but since it was kind of like hitting a little bit of roadblocks here, and then you said, you know what, I'm just going to do a comic. Was that kind of like your design?
Kind of, but you know what? It's been roadblocks all along. So,
well,
no,
that shows.
It was. Well, when I first sort of stepped away from the story and technical consulting and development and that, we were working on a lot of, like I said before, big budget projects like Man on Fire or Top Gun 2 or Miami Vice or something like that. And after working in that for so many years, it's like I would start writing jokes into the notes and stuff like that, just I just wanted a little bit. Let's do something different. I want to do something fun or crazy or exciting or something like that. So right after I stepped away from that, I just went and wrote this script, and I just wanted it to be just bonkers, just crazy. So that's what I did. I just wrote this to be as fun and loose as possible, and entertaining as possible. So that was where Murder came from. And then after almost getting this particular picture made about 3 different times, and we get very close to getting this produced. Well, the closest was literally 20 minutes from signing all the paperwork with the financiers.
Oh, wow.
20 minutes away from that, one of the financiers came back and said, can we delay the project? And we'd already been delayed for several months. But 20 minutes away from getting the entire project financed, I said, you can't be serious. We can't delay this. Are you telling me you can't do this? Well, we need another 6 months. So this is just me. You're fired.
Oh.
I said to the financier that, you know what, I'm not gonna do this. I can't do this to cast and crew with somebody who can't be relied upon. I mean, we'd already delayed it. So it didn't happen again. And so I went back up on the shelf. And I started working again on other things. But that was kind of the genesis. And then I was always a comic book kid. I mean, I have tons of comic books. Just an excited young collector with just about everything I could have wanted. And a very dear friend of mine who works in LA just said, you know what? Why haven't you done Murderland as a comic? I mean, we know how difficult it is getting a movie up and running, because every film production, every movie production, television production is a miracle with so many artists and money flying around. And it's a miracle that these things get rolling. She actually was the impetus to this and said, you should look at that. I was like, I am it's been a long time since I was in comic books. Let's look at this. And so that's where it began. That's where it began in its present incarnation, was to get some other folks, so the opinion of other creators were very important to me, and saying, what do you think? And they've been very, very supportive. So that's where it's come from. That's been the long journey. That's been the creative journey for the Murderland Social Club.
Well, I like hearing that story, because that shows your tenacity. You're not willing to compromise your vision. Especially even though you were there at that moment where it could have been signed or whatever, and then it got backed out.
Yeah.
You recognized, well, if it's not going to happen the way that I envisioned, then maybe this isn't the right time for it. And who's to say that it's not going to be? It's going to be you do the comic book, and who knows? Well, actually, I do know this comic is going to be smashing. It's going to raise eyebrows and make people take note of Carver Irish and Roi Mercado. And then you do the production, and then you do the movie production, the series. Maybe the anthology gets translated into a multi-episode treatment, and you get it done the way that you have even more creative control, in terms of that. So maybe it's kind of like, reverse engineering it, maybe, I guess. Absolutely. Because you can control it, better. You and Roi can make it happen the way that you see it. I think that's a brilliant way of looking at it. What is it? Let's see.
And that was the only that you never thought Sarah, we have 3.5 minutes left. So you were, I know a lot of times people want to make get their movies made, and then they're not movies, so they'll take them to a Netflix and make a series, something along those lines, where they give them a little bit more, let's say, creative control. Did you ever look into those type of options, or was
I did. This particular script, again, though, I can't say it enough. This was it goes places in what it does with the audience. In that there are a lot of controversial elements to these stories, that are there on purpose. They are not there for shock value. They're there to, kind of get us kind of thinking a little bit about, what it is that we're thinking, what we believe, as we look through in this particular story through the eyes of Lou and Ira, and their position here, and their sort of, just the situation that they're in. And so nothing is done for any sort of shock value. It's just, it moves the story along purposefully and with significance and meaning. At least that's the goal. At the very end of the day, it's about entertaining your audience as well. It's just keeping it fast, keeping it interesting, and doing things that perhaps haven't been done before.
Is this your favorite type of genre for movies? Is like the crime and all the seedy?
Oh no, I like everything. I like just about every genre, just because it's human expression, right? This is the palette, and there are things that we all like, or that we like individually and dislike individually, but it's they're all human expression. And they're all different facets, and we're still kind of collectively understanding that these are the people that that are around us, that populate the world.
Yeah, and you touched on it earlier. I believe you said it has like a supernatural element to it as well. So you could go in so many different directions, whatever you want to do.
You can do anything. Exactly.
You can do anything, and you take
should.
it anywhere.
You could, you can, and you should, and I think that artists and creators everywhere, and I believe we're all creators, we're all artists. You should do that. This is what art is. This is what we should do. Is we should explore all of these things. I don't believe in any of the censorship or anything like that. What is acceptable? This is something that we all have in common. And we should do this. And so I want to see stories. I want to, people talk about Hollywood gets a bit tiresome with the rehashing of stories and characters and plot lines. I hear that all the time, even in Hollywood. And there are mechanisms in place that make sure we keep seeing the same stuff, which is why, I'm a strong advocate for independent creators, independent filmmakers, independent comic artists, everything. Just, do you. Tell your story. Show us, and now's a great time to build an audience, and introduce people to your expression.
All right, guys, time was up.
Oh no! Okay.
That's a great illustration. I like that.
Okay. All right, Roy, can you zoom in? Let's check this out. I want to see
just
it in
one
all its
last detail.
Okay.
There.
So quick, if anybody was drawing along with us, post it in the art show so we could share it with everybody after we show ours.
Oops, wait.
That's
wait. There we go.
Yeah, that's the sky.
Yeah.
There. Now that's
awesome.
That's awesome.
Oh, he makes it look so easy, doesn't he?
He does.
Wow.
Yeah, he really does.
He always does that.
Wow.
I'm trying to beat my record. Last time I went and let it out, I didn't finish within the 15-minute time.
I think you did a great job, and it's like you captured. I don't know that it's. I don't draw characters with this kind of, or just hats like this in general. So it's definitely a challenge, and that's, you'll probably see it in my drawing in terms of the hat that I did. But I think it's cool. You captured that attitude that I think that we saw in those sequentials. Phenomenal work. Carver, what do you think? I mean, is this something that maybe you can?
I love it. Of course. Look at this.
Maybe this could.
And Lou is so angry all the time. He's a very angry person.
Yeah, I get that. He looks like every day could be a bad day, and don't want to cross his path there.
Yeah.
So very, very cool. I love the positive negative space too. That's the thing about Roy's artwork, is he doesn't have to go over render anything. He knows how to like put those shadows in and those strokes to really add volume without it's so effortless for him to do stuff like this. Phenomenal stuff.
Yeah,
Great work.
So Vic, are you ready to share yours?
Yeah, I'll bring you mine right now. Let's see.
Okay. And this is me. There it is. Okay. Look at that.
Nice. Look at that.
Man.
Wow.
Oh, that looks so
Vic.
That looks
wow.
great.
The shoulder
Vic
looking
pulling
back.
off
See who's
some of
following
his,
him?
some of his light tricks.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I
looks
love
awesome.
that, Vic.
Lots of
thank you.
drama. Really cool drama that you got there.
Yeah, I'll say. Wow, very nice.
All right, let's see. Jarrell, you ready to share yours?
I'm never ready, but let's just go ahead and do it.
All right, let's bring yours up.
All right.
Whoa!
So-
Now
look
you're
at that.
just
wow,
showing
that
off,
is
man.
savage.
And I kind
That
of
is
wanted to
just
make
Just
it.
showing off.
Yeah, I wanted to make it look like he was tipping up his hat with his gun, but I don't even know if he has a gun. But I just decided, well, I'm gonna give him a gun.
Yeah.
But I almost feel like I think I gave him a little bit of a Joker vibe, but I didn't really want to. He's supposed to be, this is supposed to be not Joker, but it's as one of those
No,
things.
that's great.
Yeah, I had fun with it. And it was a cool character. But yeah.
Thanks,
Oh, and
Joe.
then so Joe Tolliver was saying he loved what and I do too. I think what we've seen here is just incredible. Hopefully, did we get any that said?
Let's bring up Sarah.
Okay.
Sarah shared with us again.
Mm-hmm.
She always comes through.
Oh,
Love it.
check that out. Now,
What is
Sarah,
it saying?
It says something. Let's go. I think.
Let's
Oh,
go.
okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
I just look on my
Let's
other
go,
screen.
Sarah.
And then we have,
Yeah.
let's see, Marius joined in. Look at this one.
Oh my gosh.
Now you're just showing
Wow.
off, Marius.
Just showing off. Just showing off.
Wow.
I look at that.
Yeah.
Just showing off, man.
Yeah, that looks
Why do you
crazy.
always do this?
I am terrible, especially when you see what Marius did. Look at this.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like he kind of has this young, like Sylvester Stallone slash
Like Al Pacino.
Al
Al
Pacino.
Pacino.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah,
there it is.
yeah.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks great.
Wow.
As it's
Man.
Carver, you know
That is
him. Look at
beautiful.
fan casting already.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So just really cool
Absolutely
stuff.
great work. Beautiful work.
Yeah,
Jeez.
it's fantastic.
At this rate, I might be out of job for the next 2 years. You'll be taking all my jobs, Marius.
He's like, don't bring up his work anymore.
Yeah, it's like we'll show his artwork later. So. All right. So,
That's so good, man.
work by
thank you,
everyone. Great,
Sarah
beautiful
and
work.
Marius.
Yeah,
great
thank
stuff
you.
And
there.
lightning fast.
Uh,
That's so
Yeah,
fast.
Yeah.
that was very fast.
that was 15
Very
minutes.
fast,
That's
yes.
crazy. That's crazy.
Ah,
All right. Okay. So, thank you, Marius and Sarah, and of course, always a treat to see Roy, the Royster, in action, and Vic, killer artwork. And then just to let anybody know, if you didn't get a chance to complete the drawing in our, for this 15-minute, you can definitely keep on doing it. Just let us know. We'll feature it a little bit later on. But yes, let's keep the show going along. So here we go with the challenge number 2, which is known as the co-host challenge.
Oh no.
So
This one I like.
like-
This one's
Yeah,
exciting.
you're gonna be that
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Okay, so this
That
co-host
won't be that
challenge, I'm letting, this is Vic's baby. I don't know anything about it. I want it to be just as surprised as Roy is, and this is going to be the brainchild. This is going to be something that Carver and Vic, they know a little bit about it. I'm gonna let Vic just fill us in the details in terms of what this challenge is. So Vic, let us know.
All right. So today's co-host challenge is called Who Said What? And what I did is I got together with Carver and we, essentially I asked him to give me a line, phrase, anything, as if someone is saying it. He didn't give us a situation. He didn't give us a place. It's up to us to read this word balloon caption and find out the who, the where, the what, and the why in our drawing. So here is what I had now. He gave me one that was fantastic, but I was like, we're kind of a family-friendly show, this one. I was like, I had to go to the second one, but I really wanted the first one. I'll share it with you guys later if anybody wants to know.
We'll do that on a Friday freestyle.
This is a piece of dialogue from one of the other stories in Murderland that'll be coming, obviously a few months after that. So
here it is.
It's unfortunate, but I can't wait to hear which one.
I'm saying that.
Oh, okay, here it is. Screen capture.
Looks like somebody's been playing with fireworks and Play-Doh.
Oh.
So this is posted on the art show. So if you need to read it, we're gonna take it off screen right now. But this is the phrase that we need somebody saying it, like who, what, when, and where. It's up to you guys to be creative and draw what's being done in this.
That is a great line. I'm curious to see what the first one was, but you know what? We're gonna save.
I'll tell you guys later. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. Okay. I was so torn. I was like, yes, that one. There's so many things we could do with that one. I was like, there's so many wrong things we could do with that one.
I'm gonna say that we will save that for like a Friday freestyle where it's a little bit.
Yes. It's a great line.
It's an older audience type, thing. So we'll save it for that show, and
for the midnight show.
Yes, yeah. So, all right. So just like Vic said, the name of this challenge is who said what, and the line again was looks like somebody's been playing with fireworks and Play-Doh. So let your imagination run wild. And we're gonna have 15 minutes.
I can't wait to see this. This is going to be exciting. This is going to be very interesting.
And we're starting the clock right now.
Yeah.
I have no idea what to do, by the way.
I don't either. So
even Roy hasn't been privy to this script.
Right.
The script that has this line.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of it too. And for this challenge, we're not going to actually show the magic happening because I wanted to
we're gonna just
at the end.
We're gonna keep it off screen.
But what I would love for Carver to do is just like before we're gonna hand the mic over to you. And even though the first quote was brilliant, and we're gonna save that for another thing, let's I don't know if it's going to bias us. Make bias.
Well, how about we try and let's put it in a Goodfellas sort of context, which is the way it's delivered. So it's going to be more like looks like somebody's been playing with fireworks and Play-Doh.
Oh, there you go.
Something like that, right?
Right.
So think of it in a Murderland sort of context, if that helps a little bit.
Okay.
That's a tough one, guys.
It is tough.
It really is.
I don't envy you on that one.
Making me think. All right, so I don't know where to go with this. Carver, did you have any other I know this was the second one. The first one we can't use. We're using that for Friday Freestyle. This was the second one. Did you have other quotes that you maybe were playing around with that you might have?
There's a lot, but not in front of me. I'm sorry to say.
Don't want to put you on the spot there, but
that's all right. We're all on the spot. This is a competition here.
Well, while you're thinking about it, how about this? You did that great contextual reading of that last quote. What are some of your favorite lines from movies?
Oh no!
Can you
I can't. All my favorite lines are the ones that make me most uncomfortable. And I don't want to do that to you. When you write something and you're like, oh, no, I don't know. I think I'm going to get in trouble.
It's up to you. I mean, okay.
How about what was your inspiration for Murderland? Is there certain movies that you look to?
Oh, good question. Inspiration. Well, no, I kind of covered a little bit of that. Abject boredom. Hollywood scripts, formula movies, and so on and so forth. That was the inspiration. Again, this was just I wanted something loose and fun, really loose and fun, and just push the envelope. Well, maybe not push the envelope. Beat you with the envelope. Again, there's so many things possible that I think that we're not doing, and I think audiences and readers sense that there can be more. And
we've
should
had
explore
this. We've had a discussion on our Friday freestyles before, where because it's been coming up recently, where big directors like I want to say Francis Ford Coppola and Martin Scorsese have said that like the Marvel movies, the comic book movies have really been like hurting the theater goers, the theater experience, because the audiences don't want to see, you know, like the mobster movies anymore, or the really serious movies. How do you feel about that? Do you think those movies are hurting the theater experience?
Now, again, my experience is small. I think personal experience is small and limited. In my own experience, in my own opinion, I love good Marvel movies. They're fun. This is everything that we wanted to see when we were young, right?
Mhm.
This is you know, when Spider-Man first, you know, swings across the screen, I'm like, this is it. This is what I wanted, you know. So
Yep.
we followed these stories growing up, and it's taken forever for them to come out. Marvel and DC and heck, you know, even Dark Horse and stuff. You know, and anyone who's doing these movies, even Hellboy, we love Hellboy. You want them to be successful. You want to be entertained. You know, you want to be excited. I think for the most part they achieve that. They achieve what they want to achieve. Can we do more? Absolutely. And I think we're doing that. Hollywood tends to play things a bit conservatively to reach as broad an audience as possible. And that is not the intent here at Murderland. And
I'm gonna throw all that out the window and just sort of like,
hey, you know what? It's for some people, you know, you will watch things. I don't know what indie film does anymore in terms of numbers and audience pull, but you know, at the end of the day or the end of the week, when you have when you pop in to look at, you know, another artistic vision, another artistic expression, you pop in to look at these things. You're supposed to, well, not you're supposed to, well, you hope to leave with something, something of substance, something that, you know, shows you a new aspect to life, to living, and not necessarily to, you know, what's comfortable and what you see around you. You know, we like to watch other pictures that, you know, show us other cultures, you know, other ways of living and doing things. So, you know, that's the ideal, I think. But I do love Marvel films. You know, when they're done well, you know, and there's always a fresh take. And that's Hollywood, by the way. Is all right? How can we make this fresh? How can we make this new? And I think Marvel does that really well. They'll take it and they'll add or change or play a little bit. And again, all of these things are approached very conservatively, but I think they keep it fresh, and I think the numbers show that.
Yeah.
And
I love what your comment was on that, because it's just funny when you hear it's like, did anybody say when there was that whole slew of like mobster related movies, or when, you know, The Sopranos and Casino and all this, it's like, did anybody say we got too many mobster movies? It's like, you know, I think right now superhero movies are kind of like the thing, but it's sort of like appreciate for what it is. You know, I was like saying it entertains people just like those other movies, and you know, you just don't go hating on whatever is kind of like popular now, because something that you may like could be popular later on, and you just got to enjoy the ride, right? You know?
Yeah,
well, I'm pretty
you know
sure
what? Hate it all. If that's what if you like, if that's
I guess that's what right.
It's art, right? It's art. People go to the museum and they go, you know, this is a millions dollar painting. They look at this and go, I hate it. Why is it here? What am I looking at?
Yeah, the banana taped to the wall with an electrical tape. I think there's an example. It's like, I think that went
somebody
for like,
walked in and said,
yes,
"This is it. This is brilliant.
This is what we've been waiting for." Yes.
So
yeah. It's just funny. It's funny like that. But you're right. You can hate it. You can love it.
It's art. You're supposed to love it or hate it or be confused or conflicted about it. That's what it is.
Right.
So, and I can say that very, very easily because it took me a long time as an artist to be comfortable with being an artist. I wouldn't even call myself that for most of my life. It's I was just I was like I dabble, I do a few things, but now I understand. I feel like I've grown in that respect, and I think that maybe we all do.
Mm-hmm. Well said. I like that
Mm-hmm.
attitude. It's like you're not saying. I think that's what's kind of like is lost on today's social commentary, or it's a commentary on our social discourse. It's like if you don't like it, it's not like you should be banned from all of you shouldn't participate in anything anymore because you don't like something. It's like that's your opinion, and you're entitled to your opinion. And just if you like it, you like it. You love it, you love it. But it doesn't mean that I can't be your friend, or you can't say anything because you disagree. I mean, that's the beauty of America. America is that you should be able to like have that kind of conversation. But it's very refreshing to hear that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get out there and try some new things. See some new things. Add to your experience in life.
So speaking, like, how much time do we got there, Vic? I got carried away.
We are at 5 minutes right now.
5 minutes. Okay, so we got 10. Oh, we have 5 minutes, or we have 10 minutes.
I can't wait to see this. This
5 minutes
be,
left.
5 minutes.
Be
5
interesting.
minutes left. Okay. Yeah, I have to tell you, I don't know about you guys, but I am definitely struggling with this one. So, but I enjoy it. It's a good struggle because I'm going to go back to what Roy said earlier when he was talking about working with you, Carver. And just by doing this particular piece, I guess I'm getting a sense of what that kind of experience is like, is because I'm not used to thinking of like this way. Right now we're just doing a word bubble with it's a nice challenge. So creatively, I'm used to like drawing. If I'm going to draw something, it's going to be like a superhero or something like that. Drawing that kind of genre, doing the Kirby crackle and doing all sorts of like things.
Oh yeah.
But when you give us this quote, and then we're talking about the Murderland Social, we're just talking about your book. It's just totally made me think differently, and I enjoy it. And I think maybe that's what Roy, is that what you went through too? We're getting one word bubble. You get a whole script from Carver. I mean, is that what you kind of experienced too?
Well, yeah. Well, it's more of he's really really good to work with, and he's crazy.
Crazy.
He always has this crazy idea. But just the other just last week, I think we're planning on how do we promote this, and he was like, you know what, the comics is over the top, why don't we do this? And meaning do this, it's something that I can't say in this super PG-13 show.
He's basically saying that Let It Out is Disneyfied.
Yeah, and he really shows his creative side on not only on writing Murderland, but on uh I should say directing the whole project, and being true to the Murderland's tone, and consistent in how he wants it to be perceived.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess that's cool that when you're working with him, Carver has such a distinct vision that he's putting in the script that it challenges you to like, hey, I got something that I'm not necessarily maybe comfortable with, or maybe that I haven't explored this avenue of illustration, and I think that's got to be refreshing. Carver, you're basically like challenging Roy to like come up with something really cool.
And I haven't.
I love
done
that.
comedy.
Yes. Yes.
This is the first time I worked on comedy, on comedic comic. So,
Yes.
This is the first. It's challenging at first, but when we well, I got used to his to what he wants and how he wants to exaggerate things. So that's a
Uh-huh.
learning curve.
Yeah, it's. I guess it just kind of comes from in this particular project. Just kind of comes from my idea of how comedy lands on a page. It's all in the delivery, right? So, and that has been like a learning process for me as well, because yeah, obviously it's not a a screenplay. It's not even television. This is entirely different. So just going through this and thinking about how do I land this joke? How do I land this gag? How do I land this line? And is it going to be, or should we be looking at the line or should we be looking at the reaction to the line? You know, and comedy is a lot, is based a lot on the reaction. Just as I see it, because you look at somebody else's reaction and it's almost like a sort of a permission to laugh along, especially if it's outrageous. You go, oh yeah, okay, so we're laughing at this. All right, fun.
I think that's too. It's like as a writer, that we're talking about Roy's challenge to actually depict the humor, but you as the writer, here you're writing it, but you're trying to be you're working on like your stand-up routine. You're coming up with like landing that joke, finding the proper tone, writing the words for the delivery, and then that in itself is just, to me, it's pretty daunting, to be able to like come up with that. I mean, do you find yourself like, okay, this is where I want to do some comedy? Do you spend like a whole day trying to figure out how am I going to do the comedy?
Oh no, most of that. Well, I would imagine it's like any other screenwriter or any other writer, right? You try to slip into the character's skin and go, all right, how am I going to do this? You got to kind of act it out, walk around, talk to yourself a little bit. Go, nah, he's not going to say that. He'll never say that. What's he going to say? This guy's really just going to punch you in the chops. All right, so go.
All right, pencils down, guys. Pencils down.
Oh,
pencils down. Let's have a look.
Okay.
Let's see what Joe says. When you thought about doing the comic, did you look at it like a storyboard or a movie?
The storyboard for a movie? Yeah. I can't say that I did, and only because there's your nuance. Storyboard for the movie is typically does things like camera movement and setup and payoff, and while there is setup and payoff in this in the comic, again I had to think in a completely different way. That I'll be honest, I'm not yet comfortable with. I have to kind of get in there and kind of make it my own. And right now, a comic script with the amount of direction that's necessary, the staging, especially if it's comedy, because you got to deliver the gags and the jokes and that. I'm thinking that it's I don't know. It's geez. I can't say anymore.
It's okay. You're very
lost it. I was going somewhere with that thing. Can we edit that out?
You know what? We can revisit it later. Think on it, and then we'll if you want to like elaborate it, we can definitely do that. But
sure.
All right, guys,
let's
see the artwork.
We're gonna get to let's see our drawing. So it was the Who Said What challenge, and the phrase was, "Looks like somebody's been playing with fireworks and Play-Doh." So let's bring up
fireworks and Play-Doh.
Okay.
Let's see what Roy got here.
I don't.
Okay, let's zoom in a little bit, Roy, and then Roy, tell us your thoughts on this particular illustration.
He doesn't look happy, this guy.
Well, it's hard. This challenge, it's hard. So I want to pull
I'm sorry,
off.
but this comes from a very specific moment. When you see it eventually, then you'll be like, oh, damn, okay.
Yeah.
But this was admittedly very difficult.
Yeah, it's very difficult. And I want to try to pull off something funny, but I can't
Uh-huh.
think of anything. So I just draw,
That's right. Yeah, we got it right.
I draw
Is that a
Vladimir
flag
Putin.
in the corner? Is that on
Yeah,
his desk?
this is supposed to
Oh,
be Vladimir Putin.
Yeah,
So
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I'm
never
gonna
mind.
say
It's
that.
perfect.
I
It's
think
perfect. Never mind. I
Roy
love it.
is
Absolutely.
he's tapping into current events here, and
Yeah.
and there could be like Putin like he's like reflecting on a bad decision. It's like somebody his top aide is telling him, man,
Yes.
our army
Yes.
looks like somebody's been playing with fireworks and Play-Doh, and we're praying for the people in Ukraine that that
Absolutely.
that the Russian army and Putin will get out of there and respect the sovereignty of Ukraine. And I like that we were able to. It is a serious situation, but I think Roy was able to like add a little bit of levity to it, bring some humor to it. So I actually think this is brilliant. So just really cool. Okay, so
All right, let's see. I'll bring in my next. Here we go. Let's see. I kept it on the lighter side as well. I did the Murderland cartoon where
so this became an animated series.
Like an Arab, yeah. Actually catches them playing with fireworks and Play-Doh.
So if when SpongeBob SquarePants goes off the air, the Murderland Social Club is going to pick up, and this is going to be the the style.
Yeah, those like cartoons, those Adult Swim late at night cartoons that like you can't watch.
Oh, it's so
fireworks
good.
and Play-Doh, and then they go off and do like all this.
I like
stuff.
it. That's good. That's cute. That's cute. Very cute. And I like the use of shadow there. That's
I do. So
foreboding, isn't it?
Yeah, but I like that. I like his grin though. But then you got Ira in the background. It's like, that's my Play-Doh and my experience. It's like, who told you I could play? You could play with that. I think that's really cool.
Let's see. Let's bring in Jarrell's here.
Okay, so let me push it up a little bit.
Whoa! Yay! Look at that.
So this is a little bit of the dark side. I remember a scene from what is it? The Boondock Saints. Do you guys watch the Boondock Saints?
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
And remember that scene where they're like, they're the guy is like, there's a guy that's escaping, and the two of the main characters are like, "Oh, we got to get him," and they're not chasing after him. They're on the the roof of the building, and they're getting a TV, or I think it's a TV, and they're I could be totally wrong, but that's kind of like what I remember. And they push the TV off, and it lands on the guy, the bottom.
Yeah.
So
I like it. That's great. That's very Murderland. That's
Yeah.
very, very Murderland right there.
So it was fun. I never would have thought, and I made the old school TV. This is not the flat screen, Samsung 60-inch TV. This is actually the old school cathode ray. This is back.
Yes.
Getting back. I want to like
weighs a
do the
ton.
yeah. So it was fun. I enjoyed it. Thank you for giving us that excellent quote to like build an illustration.
Sure. Just
Actually, we have some on our art show as well. Sarah.
Yeah, let's check that out.
Bring it up real quick.
Uh-huh.
Let's bring up Sarah's here. This is what Sarah did. I think that's Thanos snapping.
Yeah.
Instead of the being an inevitable quote. So it looks like somebody's been playing with fireworks and Play-Doh. Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Thanos,
that.
Lou Thanos.
I think she was getting into that whole conversation we were talking about Marvel, and she moved it. She made it Marvel Murderland. I think that would have been really
I love that movie. I'm such a geek, a comic geek. That is, I so much love Endgame and everything around that. It was just so much fun. It was so exciting.
Yeah. Great job, Sarah.
One more.
Yeah.
Well done.
Now we have Victor Rufino.
Oh yeah.
I like that.
You know what? Already this
we're
is getting
somewhere.
very, very close.
Yeah.
Okay, so
look at that.
Okay, I'm trying to like interpret this. So like he's looking. Is she saying it looks like?
I'm gonna say she's saying it. That's what I'm gonna go with.
I'm gonna say that. That's what she said. That's right.
Yeah.
Victor, awesome. I like it.
That
This
is
is what we look
awesome.
better. Let's see if this will
That's
work.
very.
Oh no, the covers are out. No, never
PG-13,
mind.
guys.
Right there. I like that.
Yeah, PG-13.
No.
So.
Yes.
Victor Rufino bringing in some risque factor here. So, but thank you,
It's
Victor.
spicy.
Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
spicy.
I think
Thank you,
Marius
thank you,
posted.
thank you.
Oh, Marius posted. Okay, let's.
Oh,
Oh,
did
did
he?
he?
Let me
Awesome.
see real quick.
Okay.
Let's see if I could bring it up here.
All right. This is where I just
Sometimes
throw
it
down.
doesn't show me all the new ones. Let's see.
Yeah, just hit
Let me
refresh.
refresh the page and.
This is where
Oh,
I
yeah,
throw
you did.
down. This is where I throw all my
you go.
crayons in the trash and go. I can't draw anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, look at this.
Oh, look at this.
I didn't draw this. Just so you guys know, it just has my name on it because that's my screen. But this was Marius that did
Yay,
this. He's
guys.
fantastic.
Wow.
You're on
15,
fire, man.
15 minutes.
As Marius, has he done any work on like Sandman or anything? Because this is beautiful
Yeah.
work. I can
should
see
be doing
this
work
in
on Sandman.
Sandman.
He's doing his own book and his own IPs as well as lots of he's working
Make
with
sure
another.
you pick up Marius's book, whatever it is. That's beautiful.
Yeah. But yeah, he's never ceases to amaze us all. So thank you, Marius, for your contribution.
Thank you, Marius.
Yeah, looks
Yes.
great. All right, man, I really am gonna throw my crayons in the trash now because I can't draw. My drawing. All right, so let me let's go to our third drawing challenge. Let me pull up our
All right.
PDF again. So one more time. So here we go. So going back to here, now we just did Lou, and now we're going to do, actually his name is actually obscured. Let me wait for that toolbar to disappear.
Ira.
This is Ira. Ira.
Right.
Right. So you can see that Ira has his own unique attire. He's I'm gonna say he's a bit rotund like me. But what I liked about this is like it made me think of like obviously he's Italian, but I remember Hawkeye just came out a couple months ago, and we had the tracksuit mafia that were Russian.
Yes.
And I look at this and I go, he has his own kind of like laid back attire. And
he's comfortable.
He's comfortable. And so what I'm gonna do is we're gonna start the timer. I want people to screen capture this again. We're gonna be doing Ira, and I would like we're just like we did with the other drawing challenge. I would like
with
you
Lou.
with Carver, if you could just sort of like talk a little bit more about Ira.
Sure. Ira's about heart there. I'll go ahead and get it started. Get pencils.
All right, your timer
pencils.
ready? Here we go. And go.
And we're gonna before you get into it, I'm gonna actually solo out Roy's art cam, so that we can see what his there we go. So we can see the magic happen. And go ahead, Carver, you have that.
Okay, so so again, Ira's more of the heart type person. So give that some. He's a lover. He is. He is. And he's a passionate guy. He's a romantic. He would be a more, believe it or not, in the tracksuit. He's a romantic character. He's a very romantic guy. And as we come to know a bit about him, eventually he's had his heart broken, and he's looking for sort of other things, which don't necessarily translate to the sort of mobland culture that he's in. He's an interesting character too. Not altogether that intelligent. I hate to jump tropes a bit there. Hate to work the tropes a little bit, but he's often ridiculed by Lou, and in extreme fashion, and by Sammy as well. But right here he's comfortable, but he's hit a certain age now, he's looking at the clock and what he can still accomplish, at least once he gets away from the organization, if he can get away from the organization. So that's pretty much Ira.
So he's like going, what? Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, did you have like certain actors or anybody like in your personal life that you base the characters on?
No, no, no. Just it sounds a bit pretentious, but I just kind of let them kind of talk to me and say, "Okay, wow, all right, what are you, what are you doing with your life? Well, what do you want? You know?" And let the Freud come through, right? You know, a little
Mm-hmm.
Sigmund Freud come through and figure out. I don't know. Maybe this is me. I don't know. I don't know, but there it is on the page. Roy's he's breathing life into him again. So yeah, Ira's an interesting character. His heart is full of love.
So he's a mobster assassin, but he's full of love. Is that pretty much the way you
Yes,
describe
yes,
him? Yeah.
yes, yeah. And Sammy the Clam is as well, although in a very different fashion. It's yeah. I love that. I love watching Roy draw. Look at that. It's just, I don't know about you guys, but I used to, when I was younger, I used to watch like illustration programs, on
Mm-hmm.
public access. And
Bob Ross?
Bob Ross.
Well, yeah,
Bob
Painting
Ross.
as well. I did watch Bob Ross,
Mhm.
But yeah, he used to just sit there as a kid and marvel over the ability to bring something into the world that easily.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Look at that. And he's got a big gulp too. That works for me. I think no, it's not a big gulp. Is that dynamite? I was gonna say if it's a big gulp, that also works. But dynamite, sure, why not?
So I
So
couldn't help but
effortless.
I was looking at these two characters, with and I couldn't help but think, well, are these kind of like when you were talking about comedy and stuff like that? And I was like thinking, are they like kind of like the R2D2 and C3PO of the mobster land? I kind of like I couldn't help but that's me being Star Wars geek and all.
Yeah,
that
whenever
stuff,
whenever you got a duo like that, these tropes kind of come up in that, and even I was a bit concerned, but I think that they will they'll be realized in a far different fashion.
Right.
These characters, I try to give them the weight of their lives, right, in their backstory. Let them. These two characters, Lou and Ira, are really just sort of truly exhausted of the lifestyle,
Right.
and I hope that's what comes across. And they have these sort of, even for their age, they have these sort of dreams of a life outside, the gang, essentially. So yeah, but it's they're not. I think Ira at some point says something about wanting to, he'd be willing to accept a job at Arby's.
He wants out.
You know,
He wants out that
if
bad. Yeah.
Yeah, if it meant a little additional freedom, you can serve sandwiches. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, he's a big fan of roast beef. He says, you know what, I could deal with I can let this life go and settle for doing slinging burger or roast beef.
Yeah, exactly.
He looks like a Subway guy.
A Subway? You think he's Subway?
Right.
he's more a
Right,
Subway
okay.
guy.
Yeah, sure. Subway. Yeah. So effortless, Roy. Just you make it
Oh
look
wow,
so
yeah,
effortless.
yeah, it is.
Oh, I mean, I'm
That's
trying.
wild.
I'm resisting. I'm trying not to look at his screen because I know that if I started doing it, I would just stop drawing.
Yeah, that's what I keep doing. I'll look up and be like, oh man, look at that.
Nice, very nice. Yeah. No, and you know what? In writing these, I'll be honest. I have to be entertained as the writer as well. And I think I don't know if you're not entertained with your own work, then, or maybe I shouldn't call it work. If you're not entertained with your own art, then maybe it's a great deal of work. And Murderland has not been any work. It's been entertaining to me. Again, I get to get out of sort of the thought process of these others, sort of these other stories, and explore something to me that is different and fun and exciting, and I don't know. That's what I've tried to achieve in this.
And you have
Same
so
here.
many, like you said earlier, you have so many different. Oh, sorry, Ray. Go ahead.
Yeah, just about to say that we I really enjoyed working on this book. We had a talk I think 2 weeks ago, and Carver alluded to that one. Well, we have a couple of girl characters here in this first issue, and I was kind of
5.
sad that he told me that they won't be appearing in the next issue. So the,
Oh no!
I
Spoilers! Oh
I fell
no!
in love with these characters and how he wrote it. So I'm a little bit
Yes, they
sad,
are.
but I'm and kind of excited because the next one's really exciting.
Never
Okay,
know.
now I'm
They
gonna
may
read it.
come back. You never know.
Well, you did
Even I
mention
do.
there was
you
a.
could do so many different things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you mentioned
you
it
can
was.
do
It was.
anything.
Yeah, you said it was a. There was a supernatural aspect to this as well. So, hint, hint.
Yes.
Maybe there's some supernatural things that might come into play.
Cover's going to be like,
And you know what?
Aliens.
Actually, Roy makes a good point on this. The ladies of Massagero, which is the massage parlor there that they're working.
Massagero.
They're dynamic, and they're just fun characters. I think at least that was my intention, and very, very colorful characters. They're to me they were far more exciting than Lou and Ira, and what they all bring to the story. So it does predominantly focus. The story does predominantly focus on them, though they're not the protagonists to the story, the larger story. I did a little creative. There's some creative structuring on this for this particular story, but Roy's right. The female characters there, the ladies are very, very interesting. Different backgrounds, different sort of ideas, and I think they're fun. I hope they're fun. If the audience gets to tell me,
You're gonna have to bring them back for Roy, just so Roy can draw. It's like, here, Roy, this for you.
They're outrageous as well. They are outrageous characters as well.
They have really interesting exchange of dialogues, man. Interesting.
I was gonna say
that's the key word, interesting.
Yeah, everybody's as interesting as possible. Damn, that looks good.
Yeah, that's amazing. Don't look up, Gerald. We're gonna just keep watching Roy work. Did you have the designs already picked out? Like who did? You probably had a look for them that in your head already. Did you give them to somebody? Did you let your artists have free reign when you started?
This is interesting because
come about.
It's interesting because again, it is, as a screenwriter, at least I didn't. I listened to them first, and try not to cast the movie in the script, which obviously is very different when you're doing a comic book. So we worked to develop their looks, and how to contrast them with each other. And obviously, you don't want everybody sort of looking the same. So we want we want a different people that live and breathe. We want to capture that, and in their choice of clothing and their attire and the way they present themselves. I think Roy's done a dynamite job on getting them to live in the space to express themselves.
We have 3 more minutes left, guys. 3 more minutes. By then, by then Roy's gonna have it colored and everything ready to go, and be like, here's a cover.
I like Ira like that. It's like he's still trapped in the 1980s or something.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like he's still every once in a while he jazzercises or something. Maybe hits a
He's like,
workout.
he's like, I need to get healthy. I need to go on a diet, and then like next day he's done.
Yeah,
I'm done with
yeah.
that.
Doesn't
2 minutes. All right, there's some line there. I don't know if we touched on it yet. Have we asked when it's coming out? Like, do you have the dates of when?
Oh, we don't have dates just yet. I want, and I kind of meant, I've obviously had this conversation with Roy, and that we'd theoretically like to get as much work behind us as possible with all of the issues in order to give us a bit of a cushion in release dates. We're finishing up on the first issue. Thankfully, most of the initial stories are already written, which allows me to go and write some other material and write future stories as well. But yeah, it'll be 2022. I don't know, hopefully in the next couple of months we'll be able to throw it out there. 2 or 3 months.
Wow, look at that. Right, that's amazing.
It's like Gerald's so serious about the challenge.
I think you're
I'm
freezing
scared.
a little bit there, Jarrell.
Gerald's not talking.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Here, let me private chat. Let me send him.
That looks great. I love that. That is a big gulp, or what is that? No, that's a bottle of that's a water canister,
That's his
something
protein
like
shake.
that. His protein shake.
That's his protein shake.
All right. Well,
As if he was working out.
he might be set for protein already. I don't know.
I think. All right, Jarrell's having some issues right now, so we'll give him a little bit of time to reboot. But what we'll do is the clock's
is kicked Gerald, and
it's
the Vic Medina.
That's my
show.
turn, Jarrell. Yeah. So, the time's up anyways. So let's see. The pencil's down. We're already seeing Roy's here, which is absolutely fantastic. Look at that. Wow. Now let's get this question out of the way, Roy. What brush did you use?
Yes.
The international digital artist question: what brush did you use? I like how you know what? We didn't really touch on this, but I love the way you work in grays. Like you put like a gray scale and you add shadows that are you add depth to the characters already. Like I know your artist is, your color artist is going to come in and add more to it, but the way you put grays and shadows to bring them more to life, it's fantastic. I love that. I absolutely love that technique.
I love the line variation. Look at the line variation there. Like a nice thick line like that, and then you've got the thinner brush strokes, and that the line variation is always beautiful.
Yeah, it's fantastic. All right, let's see. I'll share mine real quick before I look to see if anybody shared. Let's see. I kept mine pretty simple. I'm leaning.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
So
in his tracksuit.
Yeah.
Just leaning against the wall. Yeah. I wanted to put him in that tracksuit. I like that look for him. Older guy.
Does he have some gold around his neck? It looks like he's got some gold.
Oh yeah, I didn't get time to put in his necklace to ink it in, but yeah, he was gonna have a little necklace on him.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Very nice work.
That's not mine.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
I love the folds.
That's the way.
Yeah, I like how you draw the folds on his shirt.
Oh, the folds in his clothes.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is that
It's always hard to draw folds.
Let's see. Let's see if we have anything on Facebook. We do. Sarah. Let's see. Let's bring up Sarah's here. This is what Sarah did.
Ah, all right.
Awesome as always, Sarah. I like that you got. I like that you just added to your other one, brought both characters.
Oh yeah. On the way.
That's awesome. I really like that.
Very cool.
Wet out.
Yeah, and they do a lot of traveling. They do a lot of moving from one place to the next. Sammy's got them on a tight leash, and he's always directing them where to go next. Is what you got to go do.
That is awesome. That is great. Let me see if there's any more. Let me double check real quick. Make sure there's. No, not right as of right now. No, but if anybody did any, please let us know. Share it to the art show page. We could show Roy and Carver before they leave, and share everything. Let's see. Did Jarrell come back?
Uploaded.
I think he did. Let's see.
There he is.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had no idea how much energy.
He came back as Donna.
Yeah. Oh, my name changed.
What did you?
Yeah, things changed while I was gone. So anyway, yeah, my laptop battery dropped to like 7% over the course of the stream. I don't know exactly what was eating all the energy, but anyway, I apologize for that.
It was all the creative talent. The creative talent.
I know. Yeah, there was so much there. So what did I miss? Where were we at?
We're all planning on getting together, just the three of us, going on a trip, and just like you were none of the details, so you're out of it. Yeah, we're gonna do research for the next issues.
Oh gosh, I'll have to catch it up on demand. Did we show everybody's artwork already, or did
let's see. Marius did one. Let me bring that up real quick.
Okay.
Prepare to be blown away, everyone.
There's
Oh yeah, mine actually showed up. This is. There's my version. We'll get Marius's in there in a second. But,
very nice. I like that. Yes.
Trying to get my art cam up, and it for some reason it defaulted to popping it up. But yeah, that's my version. He's very he's very cuddly. How about that? Very
that works. That works. It's a skill. Or in comics, you're often called upon to draw really ripped physiques, and I don't want to do that, at least not yet, for a bit. So, make these people, make them real people, real characters.
Yeah, you definitely
nailed it.
Thank you. And you gave me a challenge, aside from that, the last challenge with that creative word bubble, now it's actually drawing a, fuller figure type character, not all pecs and six packs, type stuff. So it was fun to do that. So let me get that out of there. And
let's see. We have Victor Ruffino, who did this one. I like this because he did something similar to Sarah. He used the previous drawing and just added a different character.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the next night. Who knows?
He's a romantic.
Yeah.
It's not a romantic drawing, but he's a romantic. But it looks like he's having some problems there. Poor Ira's having a few issues there.
And here's
look at that. That's
Marius.
sweet.
Look at that.
Wow.
Once again, because I don't want to take credit for this. That's only my name's on there only because it's my screen. But this is Marius, and just absolutely fantastic.
I like that. It looks like he's been punched in the face. He's taken a lot of blows to the face. This is Ira as well. This is very, very good. Wow. In fact, it looks like he was hit recently.
I think we lost Roy. Did we lose Roy?
Yeah.
Did we lose Roy?
Oh
no.
Did.
Oh,
did we get
there he is.
All right. Did we get to see Roy's? I didn't get to see Roy's. So.
Mary's beautiful work.
Yeah, we brought Roy's up. Yeah, we showed it.
Okay.
It's fantastic.
For my benefit, to show it again. I'd love to see it.
Thank you, Sarah. Let's see. Martin,
Yes, thank
is it
you.
still there? Let me bring it up. Look at that. I think
I'll
Jarrell
see it.
froze. I think Jarrell's freezing us. Can
I'm
you hear Jarrell?
sluggish again. I hear you,
All right,
but
yeah.
I'm sluggish.
Tell you what, because we can hear you, what we'll do is why don't you close down, we'll close down your cam for a minute.
Okay.
See if that clears up. So why don't you go ahead and do that on your end, but don't, so we could still hear you at least.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look at that. That is awesome.
Except
like
for Marius.
Beautiful work, everyone. That is great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, it's
and
like,
as a
what is-
writer, let me tell you, as a writer, to actually see your characters sort of come to life, there's no feeling in the world like seeing that. You know, it's outstanding to see other artists take the cues and just, you know, put out their own interpretation. I love it. I'm fascinated with it, and thank you guys for that. It grows the heart.
Yeah, it's a great. It's got to be a great feeling to see all these different. I mean, it's got to be a great feeling to have Roy say yes to do your book, and then have so many people like wanting to draw these characters. It's fantastic.
Yeah, they'll love.
Yeah, I'm
everything.
totally digging this. Can people still hear me? I know my camera's glitching.
Yeah, you're a little blurry, but we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, great.
It's impressionist, Gerald.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing like I'll start doing like some charades or something like that. But I guess as long as you can hear me, let's I appreciate everybody that drew along with us, and encourage you to, if you still want to draw, just post it to the art show, and we'll
Absolutely.
make sure that both Roi and Carver check it out, because their story is just so cool. In fact, now that we finished the drawing challenges, let's talk a little bit about the future. So Carver, have you written, like, is this anthology going to be like, like a series of story arcs? Like, how far have you planned it in terms of like telling the story?
The first 4 stories come from the film, the screenplay, the original screenplay. But there are 3 additional stories, just because when you're writing on other projects and you're really just like, oh man, I need a break from that. I've got some really crazy ideas for another story. You just throw them together. You just start writing them out. And so there are 7 scripts. There are 7 issues written, and then there are another 2 to 3 after that. And that, again, that allows me some time to, bounce back and forth, which is, as a creative person, as an artist, I don't know about you guys. You might, be drawing your books or your heroes or what have you for a bit. I love that mug.
Oh, thank you.
You might be drawing them, and then you say, you know what? I'm a little tired of this. What I really want to draw right now is, I don't know, the Smurfs, or maybe take a break and I just want to draw something different, just to keep things fresh in your mind, so that things don't stagnate a little bit. So by writing by having this material in advance, I don't feel compelled to get right onto the next one, and people have say, hey, when's the next story? Because there are people that have already read these stories. Say, all right, so what's the next one? I'm like, yeah. But thankfully they're already done. So yeah, that's the future. Is
Okay, that's good.
The future is somewhat plotted out pretty thoroughly.
Okay, well, and I know that we talked yesterday about the anthology. So even though there are several stories in this first edition, Roi is going to be illustrating all the stories, correct?
Yes, we've got him tied to this for as long as possible. And as long as he stays happy, I got to keep him happy. I got to make sure that he's happy, that he likes the material, that he doesn't feel stressed in any way or overworked. But at the same time, you got to challenge him a little bit, his sensibility. challenge, his artistic sense a little bit. Every once in a while, just get him right there up next to the comfort zone, and then all right, let's back off a little bit. We've grown enough.
Yeah, you gotta get him on a subscription service to some high quality caffeinated products, so that way he can stay awake the whole time.
Even more than he already does.
Even more. So that way he doesn't have to shut it. He doesn't have to shut his eyes at all.
He's always on. He's always on. He's always on, messaging back and forth. Like, good Lord, how old is he again? Because he has the energy of like a 10-year-old on pixie sticks. It's just like wow. I'm like, I did put in 2 hours of work. It's time for some, something to eat, maybe a nap.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you what?
I snort coffee grounds.
Coffee grounds.
It's 100% legal. It's the legal substance. It's just coffee grounds. It's all he uses. Great to hear. So, it's definitely been a pleasure to hear about the Murderland Social Club and hearing about your creative collaboration and just talking about the future. So, we will put in the comment field how you guys can like and follow him, and that way, when the book is ready to go live, are you planning on doing? Are you self-publishing? Are you going to do a crowdfunding? How are you going to do?
I'm going to shop publishers. I think I'm going to shop publisher a little bit, see what's what, and worst case scenario, I guess, is self-publishing. I'm fully ready to self-publish. There's a lot more editing involved than I want to do.
You just want to write. Yeah.
That's another thing. When you gotta. I didn't give credit enough to the editors out there. Thank the editors from the projects that you enjoy, because damn, this is it's a lot of work. Juggling artists. You got the colorist, you got the letterer, you got everybody. You want to keep everybody happy and answer all the questions and be available for anything. And wow, that's a different kind of skill set. It's an entirely different muscle. So, and thankfully they're very patient with me. I don't like to push anything on anyone. So they're patient and kind. So this has been a great experience. But yes, the editorial work is something I never factored in.
Well, I think you're going to be an old pro once you get through this issue. Making sure that I think the creative connection is going to definitely be the more important part, because then you can do the editing. That's afterwards. You can just get the book done and then sort of fine tune it as we go along. So so it's been great. Telling the story thus far. We're excited to find out, when you guys are welcome to come back on the show when the issue is completed, and because I'm looking forward to hearing more of the other viewpoints in this anthology. So now we're going to get to the part of the show which we affectionately call the speech, and that's where I give them you guys, and you just give your final thoughts, etc., etc. So let's start out with Carver. You give us your Oscar speech, and we'll go from there.
Listen, first of all, thanks to you folks there. We appreciate you, Vic and Gerald, putting some time out there, supporting independent artists. It's very important now, more than ever, to go out there, try new things, and you guys are putting it out there. You're showing new projects, you're showing new voices, you're showing new talent, and I applaud that. I appreciate that, and everyone who does this. As for readers, listen, my intent is to show you something you haven't seen or read before. Thank you for having an open mind, for having a look at this. We appreciate all opinions. Don't accept all opinions, as well as we're all human, but we appreciate your ideas, your thoughts, anything that spurs thought, and conversation is we think that we think readers. We thank everybody that's been a part of this. Obviously, I thank you, Roy. Roy has been tremendous. You can see it on the page. Russ has just, again, knocked it out of the park. Russ, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, thank you. Appreciate that as well. And folks, come on board. Have a look. It's not for everybody, but maybe it's for you.
That is awesome. All right, so I'm a little glitchy still here. So, all right, so now we go. I'm trying to get there. Okay, why are you Carver Irish? Oh, okay. I'm a little slow here. My cameras are really slow. Vic, can you solo out Royster, and let's get his Oscar speech.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have Roy soloed out on my computer all the time, anyway. So here we go.
Exactly. All right. Thanks, Carver.
I want to thank you guys. This year's been a lot for me and my family, and I'm really happy. I made really good friends. And I want to thank you, Gerald, Vic, and Joe, and Rick. I really appreciate you guys working with indie artists like me, and well, it really helped me and my career as a comic book artist. It's been a year. It's just been a year since I was here, and many things happened, and I'm really grateful for all of that. And that I want to say from an artist point of view, because I read it first, you should check out the Murderland, and it's a really interesting story, and you'll love it. You'll love it.
Awesome.
Yes.
Vic, I'm gonna have to rely on you because everything is so sluggish on my end. I can't control the cameras. So,
Oh, no worries. I got it.
Okay. Great.
I don't think we had maybe I didn't see it on my end, but I don't think you can find us on Instagram and it's at the Murderland Social Club. At the Murderland Social Club. That's it.
Okay.
On Instagram.
We'll post that in the chat. That way everybody can follow you guys on Instagram and make sure they can be in the know in terms of when the issue 1 of the anthology will drop. So thank you, Carver Irish. Thank you, Roi Mercado. You guys were stellar guests, and we enjoyed thoroughly learning about your project and just individual creative journeys. I think it's so neat to see when creatives of your caliber can come together and just come up with a really outstanding product. And I can't wait to see more pages to hear the full story. I guess
once the first one is done, we'll definitely come back.
Okay, that's a promise. That's a promise. You heard it here first. I'm gonna try and pull up because we end our show talking about our charity partner, and let me see if I can. Everything is taking like 10 seconds for me to like load up. So hold on 1 second, and let me see if I can pull up the tab to share it. Hold on, and I'm building up the suspense. So here we go.
Yeah, your PC is going to mode.
I know. It's like so slow. Can anybody see my screen? I'm not sure if I think I should.
There we are.
Vic,
yes, it's coming
help
up.
me out. Help me out.
It's black right now. Oh, there it is. There it is.
It's really slow. I have like 2% battery life for some reason. Let me try and scroll down here. I guess my computer's so worn out by all the creative energy that we're seeing here, and it's poop. But anyway, so Golden Fight. Is it still showing? I can't even tell.
Yeah, it's showing.
It's still sharing. It's sharing. Okay, good. So I'm just gonna be blind here and just trust that it's being shown here. So goldenfight.org. They are our charity partner. We're in no ways financially tied to them or in any shape or form. We just are big fans of this organization. They're an organization that is big enough and small enough at the same time. Small enough in the sense sense that they don't have like this huge like international exposure. They don't have to like worry about like the things that a large corporation would have to do. They are very focused in their approach. It's like my neck of the woods, Mid-Atlantic region, but this is where they're huge. In that very focused area, they help families who have kids that are going through some really difficult illnesses like cancer. And this is where they're big. 100% of the money that they raise goes to those families, because when those families are focusing on the healing of their child, they will have inevitably financial difficulties. Golden Fight comes to the rescue. They raise money to help those parents deal with those financial problems or those financial issues while they're wanting to get their child to be 100% healed. So if you're interested in checking out a charity that maybe you might want to contribute to, or just see what's out there in terms of really good people, goldenfight.org, that organization. So Vic, could you do me a favor? I could probably click out of this, but it would probably take 30 seconds for it to quit. So let me know when it's closed out. And
there you go. It's closed.
It's closed. Okay, because I can still see it. My computer. All right, so this is where I get all teary-eyed and just shed a tear, because this has been a great show, stellar show. I had so much fun welcoming back, of course, Roi, but meeting Carver. Carver, your story is incredible, your personal story.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to please say hello to Bono and Denzel for me. But just hearing your own creative journey and how you hooked up with this guy named Royster. I don't know who he is. He's somebody. But he's extremely, you guys are both extremely talented. And to actually see that collaboration come to fruition, it's awesome. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. So that being said, we're going to close it out. So Vic, if you want to get our bumper ready to go, I'm just going to say, check us out. We're doing more and more social media things. We have Wednesday warm-ups with Vic. We got our Friday freestyle. Vic and I were thinking about maybe even doing another type of show, maybe Thursday, maybe. So stay tuned for talking about that. We have this show, which is Let It Out. We also have The Process with Joe Tolliver. We have like the Inside the Indie Studio with Joe Tolliver. I can't tell you. We got so much stuff. It's crazy. We got the magazine.
We have a plethora, Jarrell. Come on.
Yes. I forgot the word. We have a plethora of things to share.
There you go.
Yeah. Look forward to March. March is coming around. We got a special event featuring indie creators, assembling them together for a really cool March event that we're doing. That's compliments of Vic Medina. He came up with a really cool challenge. So anyway, that's a little bit of a hush hush. We'll be revealing that a little later. But that being said, catch us on our next show. Watch our social media to see what that next big thing is. Watch their social media. Follow Carver and Roi Mercado and see what big things they're going to be doing. But until then, we will see you on the interwebs. This is Comics Cast. Let It Out. Signing out. See you later. Bye-bye.